You're sitting across from her at dinner, her laughter like wind chimes, her eyes glowing with what feels like devotion. She leans in, hangs on your every word, and for a moment you believe it. This is love, pure and unshakable. But then, like a film reel snapping, the scene fractures. A week later, she's cold, distant. Her texts go unanswered for days. When she finally speaks, her voice is flat, her words laced with a quiet contempt you've never heard before. We need to talk. Your chest tightens. What changed? What did you do wrong? The answer is nothing and everything. This isn't a story about a bad woman. This is about a truth so deeply buried in the human psyche that even she doesn't understand why she does it. Carl Jung, the man who unearthed the darkest layers of the soul, spent decades studying what he called the feminine shadow, the primal unconscious force driving female behavior. His private notes reveal a pattern so ruthless, so biologically ingrained, that modern psychology refuses to acknowledge it. But you've felt its claws, that whiplash of affection turning to ice, the rewriting of history where you're suddenly the villain, the silent treatments that leave you gasping for air. This is not misogyny, this is survival. Jung's research exposes a brutal paradox. The more a woman seems to adore you, the more her shadow is working to destroy you. Not out of malice, but instinct. For thousands of years, women who prioritized survival over sentiment outlived those who did. While men built civilizations, women mastered the art of navigating male psychology. Your grandfathers knew this. They didn't communicate their feelings. They ruled kingdoms, fought wars, and understood that a woman's loyalty was tied not to their heart, but to their strength. Let's dissect the first lie you've been fed. Female love is unconditional. Jung's journals describe a harrowing case. A wealthy industrialist, revered in his community, collapses after a financial crash. His wife of 20 years, the woman who once nursed him through pneumonia, who called him her rock, visits him in the hospital once. Then she files for divorce, takes the children, and drains his remaining accounts. When Jung confronts her, she genuinely believes she's the victim. He failed us, she says, dry-eyed. What was I supposed to do? This isn't cruelty, it's hypergamy in action. The female drive to secure the best possible mate, even if it means abandoning the weak. Modern culture labels this toxic, but biology calls it necessary. A woman's love is a transaction. Her loyalty alone. Default on your end of the bargain, provide less, earn less, be less, and the contract tears itself to shreds. But here's what's chilling. She doesn't know she's doing it. The mask we show the world explains why. Women aren't scheming villains. They're actresses in a play written by evolution. Her persona is the devoted girlfriend, the nurturing wife, the cool girl who laughs at your jokes and claims she's low maintenance. But beneath that mask lurks the shadow, a calculating machine assessing your genetic worth, your social status, your utility. When you're strong, she reflects back adoration. When you falter, she reflects disgust. You've seen this cycle repeat. The promotion at work, she's suddenly more affectionate, planning weekends away, buying gifts. The layoff, she's stressed, picking fights, staying late at work dinners. The moment you confess a vulnerability, anxiety, grief, fear, she pulls back physically, her compliments drying up. This isn't a coincidence. It's her shadow enforcing nature's law, survival first, sentiment second. Jung's most controversial discovery, women don't choose partners, they audition them. In his notes, he describes a patient, an heiress, who cycled through 3 fiancés in 2 years. Each man was perfect until he faced a crisis. A lawsuit, an illness, a family scandal. Overnight, her attraction evaporated. I just don't feel safe with him anymore, she told Jung. Not, I don't love him. I don't feel safe. Safety for women isn't emotional, it's biological. A man who can't protect, provide, or project dominance triggers a primal alarm. Abort mission. But the shadow's most lethal trick? It weaponizes your virtues against you. Think of the nice guy syndrome. You listen to her problems for hours, sacrifice your weekends to help her move, forgive her outbursts, yet the kinder you are, the more she disrespects you. Why? Jung's answer: the shadow interprets kindness as weakness. In nature, prey animals are gentle, predators are ruthless. Her DNA can't differentiate between kindness and submission. So the more you give, the more her shadow whispers, "This man can't protect me." This explains why women test men. The petty arguments, the impossible standards, the "I'm fine" when she's clearly furious. It's not about the fight. It's a probe. She's stress testing your resolve. Fail, apologize when you shouldn't, cave to unreasonable demands, and her shadow marks you as unfit. Pass, hold frame, stay calm, enforce boundaries, and her attraction reignites. But there's a twist even Jung couldn't anticipate. Modernity has turned women against their own biology. Today's woman is told she can have it all: career, independence, a sensitive partner who cries at rom-coms. But her shadow still craves what evolution designed: a man who stands unfazed by chaos. This cognitive dissonance breeds to toxic dynamics you see everywhere. The feminist who claims to hate toxic masculinity but dates arrogant, domineering men. The wife who demands open communication but punishes her husband's vulnerability. The girlfriend who says, "I don't need you," yet spirals when you focus on your goals. Jung called this the martyr's trap. The more a man contorts himself to please her conscious desires, equality, sensitivity, the more her unconscious shadow rebels, starving for the raw dominance it evolved to crave. But the darkest truth? Women hate this too. In Jung's files, a housewife confesses, "I love my husband, but when he asks for permission to go out with friends, I want to scream. I don't want a servant, I want a man." Her shadow despises weakness, even as her modern persona champions equality. This internal war drives female behavior: hot and cold, loving and cruel, devoted and distant. So where does this leave you? Jung's answer is brutal. Most men are lambs walking into a slaughterhouse they don't see. They blame themselves. If I just loved her more, she'd stay, not realizing the game was rigged from the start. But there's a way out. A way to win without becoming a monster. It starts with understanding the second layer of Jung's research, the part hidden even from most psychologists. You're at a bar when you see her, the woman who ghosted you 6 months ago after a year of soulmate talk. She's with a new guy, laughing too loudly, her hand on his arm. For a split second, your chest burns. Then it hits you. He's just the next lamb. You almost pity him, because now you know what he doesn't. Jung's secret diaries reveal a truth that reshapes everything. Women don't fear men, they fear the men who see through them, not the abusers or the players, but the men who've mastered their own shadows. These men don't play the game, they dissolve it. Let's dismantle the second lie. You can negotiate desire. Modern dating advice is a carnival of horrors. Tell her how you feel, buy her flowers, share your trauma. Jung's notes dissect this as the beggar's strategy, trying to extract love through pleading, gifts, or vulnerability. But female desire doesn't respond to beggars. It responds to conquistadors, men who move through the world with unshakable purpose. Jung's breakthrough came from an unlikely source: medieval alchemy. Alchemists sought to turn lead into gold, but Jung saw it as a metaphor for psychological integration, the fusion of light and dark within a man. Most men are fractured. They suppress their rage, their lust, their ambition to be good, but integrated men channel these shadows into power. Take rage. Society tells you to meditate it away. Jung says, redirect it. That fury at being lied to, cheated, or disrespected, forge it into discipline. Wake up earlier, lift heavier, build something that outlives you. A woman's shadow isn't afraid of a man who shouts, it's terrified of a man who's relentless. Or lust. You're told to shame it, to simper about emotional connections. Jung's counter, lust is energy. The men who master it don't chase women. They let women chase them. How? By transmuting sexual hunger into creativity. Write, paint, code, compose. The magnetism of a man creating something real is catnip to the feminine shadow. But the ultimate shadow to weaponize? Your fear of abandonment. Most men cling to relationships like life rafts. They tolerate disrespect, infidelity, even abuse to avoid being alone. Jung's remedy is merciless. Become the man who's okay with burning it all down, not from spite, but from sovereignty. The moment a woman senses you'd walk away without a backward glance, her shadow snaps to attend. Why? You've triggered her deepest fear, replacement. This isn't a theory. Jung proved it with a patient, a notorious playboy who'd left a trail of heartbroken women. The man wasn't rich or handsome, but he radiated indifference. Women sense it, he told Jung. They know I like them, but I don't need them. That's what drives them mad. Jung initially dismissed him as a narcissist until he realized the playboy had, accidentally, stumbled onto integration. He wasn't heartless, he was self-contained. Here's how to replicate that. When a woman tests you, picking fights, flirting with others, forgetting plans, most men panic. They chase, plead, what's wrong? Big mistake. You're feeding her shadow's hunger for drama. Jung's solution? Reflect her energy coldly. If she's distant, don't text, get busier. If she's rude, don't argue, withdraw attention. If she threatens to leave, open the door. This isn't manipulation, it's physics. Her shadow craves resistance to gauge your strength. No resistance, she'll push harder until you break. But if you mirror her, calm, unmoved, indifferent, her shadow hits a wall. This man can't be controlled. And control, Jung found, is the shadow's oxygen. Modern men are emotional beggars. They seek validation from women through sex, praise, or love. Jung's warning, the moment you outsource your worth to a woman, she owns you. Your grandfathers didn't need supportive partners. They had missions, wars to win, lands to conquer, legacies to build. Women were companions, not sources of meaning. Jung's prescription is brutal. Build a life so compelling that female attention becomes a bonus, not a lifeline. Want confidence? Don't look to your compliments, look to your accomplishments. Need comfort? Don't cry on her shoulder. Meditate? Journal, lift weights. A woman's shadow despises neediness but worships self-sufficiency. Why? Because for millennia, a self-sufficient man meant survival. Jung's most radical idea, your darkest traits are guardians, not enemies. That rage you suppress, it's a signal you're tolerating disrespect. That lust you deny, it's a call to create, not just consume. That fear of being alone, it's a reminder to build a life you don't want to escape from. Jungian therapy isn't about fixing yourself, it's about allowing the shadow to speak, then directing its raw energy into mastery. A patient of Jung's, a timid clerk, dreamed of strangling his boss. Instead of condemning the fantasy, Jung told him, your shadow wants respect. Stop laughing at jokes that humiliate you. Start setting boundaries. The clerk did. Within months, he'd earned a promotion and the attention of a woman who'd once ignored him. This is the alchemy, turning poison into medicine. But the final test? Jung's greatest paradox. To truly love a woman, you must be ready to lose her. Most men love from fear of being alone, of rejection, of judgment. That's not love, it's enslavement. Real love, Jung argues, is the opposite. You adore her, but you're uncompromising in your standards. You cherish her, but you'll walk if she disrespects you. You support her, but never at the cost of your mission. This isn't cruelty, it's clarity. Women's shadows are exquisitely attuned to this. The moment they sense your love is rooted in strength, not fear, their games crumble. Not because you've tamed her, but because you've become immune to her chaos. A final case from Jung's files. A banker, recently divorced, falls for a fiery artist. She's volatile, flaky, and prone to tantrums. Instead of appeasing her, he lives by 3 rules. Never cancel plans with friends for her. Never apologize unless he's truly wrong. Never beg for affection. Result? She becomes obsessed. She cooks him meals, introduces him to her parents, and stops testing him. Why? His resolve forced her shadow to face its own reflection. A man who couldn't be bent. This is Jung's ultimate revelation. Female nature isn't your enemy, it's your forge. The shadow will try to break you. It will punish your weakness, exploit your kindness, and warp your love into a weapon. But in that fire, something extraordinary happens. You stop being a pawn, you become a king. The choice is yours. Stay asleep, clutching the fairy tales you've been fed, or wake up and wield the truths that free you. Jung's words echo across the decades. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. But to get there, you must first confront what you truly are not.